The Al Rucker Show. The Al Rucker Show.
Thank you for tuning back in to the Al Rucker Show. We got a special guest on the line. Nyambi, how you doing?
I'm well, man. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. You know, right now, you know, currently you're starring on the CBS Good Fight with some pretty amazing veteran actors. But before we get into that and the Good Fight, the current season, let's talk about how you got started in acting. What was your first acting gig?
You know, oddly enough, my first acting gig was at Rosemont Elementary School in Dallas, Texas, where it was for Cinco de Mayo, and I had like one line. And I think the line must have been like, today is Cinco de Mayo. And that might have been it. But my first time on stage, so I have to say that was my first acting gig.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now every other acting gig is trying to live up to that first time on stage.
Now, you took us way back. Man. That's pretty good. But, you know, also before the Good Fight, you started alongside Melissa McCarthy in the CBS sitcom Mike and Molly. You know,
that's right.
How was it working on the comedy sitcom?
No, it was great, man. Getting to work with, you know, of course, Chuck Lorre, who has behind a whole bunch of amazing, sitcoms, very successful shows, you know, like The Big Bang Theory, Mom, 2.5 Men, and getting a chance to work with him. Also, he also wrote the theme music to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is what dirted me out. But working with Melissa McCarthy, Billy Gardell, Susie Kurtz, Katie Mixon, Reno Wilson, my brother, you know, all Cleo King, just Lou Listillo, just a whole bunch of great actors, comedic actors, and you know, I like making people laugh. So it was just fun. It was fun for that to be my first big TV gig. A blessing, really.
Now you also done some theater work, working alongside the great Al Pacino. You know,
yeah.
How was that? Yeah, how was that experience?
No, it was dope, man. It was dope because you know, Al has this you know, he has this sort of this aura about him because he's Al Pacino. You know, he's the Godfather. You know, you got Marlon, then you got Al. You know, so for me, I mean, it was just incredible. He's Scarface, you know, and so that's who you expect when you meet him. And then when you meet him, he's just down to earth, you know, just trying to figure out, you know, he had to play the meatballs that he didn't want. He's like, hey, anybody want my meatballs? It's just like, wow, you know, he's just like me, you know what I'm saying? You know, I don't want my meatballs. I'll offer it up to somebody else. Anybody want my meatballs? But Al was great, man, and he paid me the highest compliments when I was working with him in the park. You know, we were doing The Tempest. I'm not sorry, that was another show I was doing. But we did The Merchant of Venice, where he played Shylock, and I played the Prince of Morocco in that. And I was sort of the comic relief from what Shylock was doing. And when I got off stage, he was just like, yeah, really great, just wonderful, yeah. And I was like, can I retire now? Can I? Yeah, man. But it was just a great thing for the ego, such an ego boost for me as an actor.
Yeah. Now you know you have a lot going on. You've done a lot. And like I said, you worked with a lot of great actors. And you know, with Al Pacino, and then also, you know, for yourself, you write and you draw in your spare time, and you're a published author. So tell us about those.
No, it's been fun, man. Like getting a chance to, you know, take on some of my other hobbies and loves. You know, I've always loved drawing. I used to, you know, draw portraits of people or draw portraits of people that you know, friends liked. You know, so do that. And at one point, I was selling them. You know, because we had a fair at high school that, you know, we'd sell different stuff, and I was selling drawings. And, you know, I'd sort of fallen out of drawing for a while, but then in the last, 10 years, got back into it. And now I've really been getting into it, drawing every single day with the hope of, you know, continuing to draw more comics Right now, I've had stuff that's been published in comic books. Thank you, or thanks to Val DeLandro and Kelly Sue DeConnick with a book called This Planet Triple Features, and Mark and Draco with this book called Love is Love. So, small ventures, but, small ventures eventually grow into large projects. So that's the hope. Because, I'm a big comic book head. Yeah. And, that's my way of creating, and sort of my way in now as an artist in terms of feeding the imagination. Wow. When it comes to anything that I do.
Wow. No, that's I like that analogy. Now to the good fight. Now I've become a fan of the good fight. I'm just, this is season 4, I believe, but I've been amazed from everything about it. I got to admit, I recently just got turned on to it, and I had to watch it. I've been binge watching ever since. I had the privilege of speaking to Michael Boatman about it, and then I wanted to make sure. I couldn't wait to get you on the line because you played the investigator Jay. So what type of investigator is Jay?
So I play Jay DePerza. I like to say that he's he won't always give you what you want, but he'll certainly give you what you need. Because I feel like there's power in holding on to information, knowing things about people, knowing things about certain cases, more than what they would actually need. There's something powerful about that, I feel. And so when with every interaction that I have, I feel like there's a sense of like, I know more, but it seems like this is what you need. So then it always feels like there's a sense of what else is happening there with Jay? What else is underneath? It's fun, And then the other quote that I like to use is I got this from this documentary where they say everyone has a public life, a private life, and a secret life. Public life, of course, is for everyone's consumption. Private life is invitation only, and then the secret life is nobody's business. And that's how I feel, Jay. Jay
is, and Jay has some moments in there that stood out to me, and I believe it was either episode 2 or 3 when all you guys was in the boardroom and the N-word came up and all that, and how Jay spoke. But what amazed me about the writing on this is how the writers have captured and tackled some of the issues like the N-word. How do you feel about that being part of a writing or part of a sitcom that talks about the N-word and things like that?
What's great about this show is that the writers take on all perspectives. That it's not just one where it's like, this is how we feel. It's like, okay, here's the issue. Now here are all the varying perspectives. Let's see what happens when all of them meet. When we talk about the N-word is something, especially when we're talking amongst ourselves, we can talk about it. We talk about it all day, It's no longer the N-word, it's the word. But then when you start bringing in people outside of, Black culture into the conversation, it's a conversation that we don't have. A conversation that we take for granted. And to be able to be like, okay, boom, this is it. This is what we need. We need to discuss this and have a clear understanding of where we stand with this. But then what's even more interesting is the fact that that's a word that's also polarizing within our own community, and to get those perspectives as well. I commend the writers for not trying to slant the argument in one direction and really just say, hey, let's take on all all directions this can go, and let the viewer decide what they believe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very good. And that's why I said the writing on here is very, very exceptional. And I'm glad to see that a lot of writers on here are of color, and they're women of color. So that really stood out to me and got me more intrigued. But you can't play down the acting that you guys are doing on the sitcom. It's very, very, it draws you in, and it kind of gets you to the point where you got to continue watching. And I've been doing that. But what can we expect from Jay this season?
From Jay, I mean, the big thing for this season is this Memo 618, and what is it? What's the mystery around Memo 618? And it's the season is more diving into secrets and lies and just trying to uncover the truth to find out what it all is and where we fit as a firm. And Jay is squarely in the middle of all of that, trying to make that happen, trying to figure out what's going on in terms of the group that's now upstairs, SPR Lori, because the company who has bought our firm. And how do we navigate it? How do we best navigate it? So yeah, you can expect more in terms of Jay's involvement in terms of surviving the overlords that are SPR Lori.
Yeah. So for those listeners who haven't had the opportunity to tune in yet, what makes a good fight unique from other legal dramas?
Yeah. What makes a good fight unique from other dramas? First of all, we're always up to date. You're always up to date. We're always talking about something that is current. I mean, it's strange, man. We'll write about something and then do it, and it may not be the thing of the time when we're actually filming it, but then when it's released, somehow it's the topic of the day. So it's always current. I call it a water cooler show. It's one of those shows to where the next day, after you've seen the show, the next day you're at work, you're at your water cooler, getting your water, and you sit back drinking, and somebody else comes up, gets their drink, and then you watch them get their drink, and you say, hey, man, you watched the good fight last night? And they're like, yo, crazy. Did you see that scene? My God, what they talking about? That's a water cooler show. One that inspires discussion. That's one. The actors, Delroy Lindo, Christine Baranski, Cush Jumbo, Audra McDonald, Sarah Steele, Michael Boatman, all these amazing actors that are part of the show. John Larroquette. If you've been binging from the beginning, you'll have people like Erica Tassel. You'll have Lou Gossett Jr., Michael J. Fox, a whole bunch of dope actors come through, and then of course the stories again are just top notch. There's no television, no program on TV is doing what we're doing.
No, they're not, and I got to agree with you on that. Yeah. They're definitely not, and that's what's so unique about it. Like I said, I've been binge watching, and then I had an opportunity to just sit there. I actually sat there yesterday, and I think I watched 4 or 5 episodes. And it's a very, very, very good show. But tell our listeners, where can they tune in and watch The Good Fight?
Well, you can tune in and watch The Good Fight on CBS All Access. If you look on Twitter or on Instagram, sometimes they'll have a promotion that's going on where you can get a month free. So look out for those. But we're definitely on CBS All Access, killing the game, doing our thing, crushing it.
Yes, yes. Also, how can our listeners follow you on social media?
Well, you can follow me. It's simple. It's at Nyambi. That's N as in Nyambi. Y as in yellow, A as in aardvark, N as in Melissa, B as in Bobby, I as in Illinois, which I am not from. But, but at Nyambi on Twitter and on Instagram.
That is what's up, man. And you know what? I gotta tell you, out of all the interviews I've done, no one has made sure someone spelled their name out by giving things they can actually know. Yeah, it kind of made me. Yeah, it reminds me of talking to my insurance company when they ask you for your VIN number. You know, Z as in zebra. Yeah. So man, congratulations on the success you have going on, man. The Good Fight is a very, very good sitcom. Jay is amazing on the sitcom. So keep up the great work, man. And we definitely gonna be tuning in. I'm definitely a fan now. So again, thank you for calling into the Rucker Show.
I will. I got to say this. I got to say shout out to Houston, Texas. Part of my growing up was in Houston, Texas. I went to Elrod Elementary School. Hopefully it's still there. Shout out to Elrod. Houston's part of my foundation. I want to say thank you. Much love to all of y'all.
Oh man, that's what's up. Thank you. Houstonian. You are a Houstonian. So we go.
Yes,
all right, man. Thank you, man. Good luck in the future.
Right,
The Al Rucker Show. The Al Rucker Show.